Hello, America. I'm Camille Chandler, and this is Qualitative Listening. Today's headline: Contraction in GDP. But before we get into that, let's start, as always, with the Treasury yields. The 3-month is at 4.29%. The 6-month is at 4.19%. The 2-year is at 3.6%. The 5-year is at 3.76%. The popular 10-year is at 4.21%, and the 30-year is at 4.7%. So the yield curve reflects a notable inversion, with short-term yields exceeding long-term yields, a pattern often interpreted as a signal of potential economic slowdown or recession. As of May 1st, the macroeconomic landscape is marked by, as I said, contraction in GDP, persistent inflation, and heightened concerns over trade policies. Here's an overview. GDP contraction. The U.S. economy contracted by an annualized 0.3% in quarter one of 2025, marking the first decline since 2022. This downturn is largely attributed to a surge in imports as businesses rush to purchase foreign goods ahead of anticipated tariffs, leading to a record trade deficit. Let's look at the labor market. The unemployment rate as of March stood at 4.2%, a slight increase from previous months. Looking at job growth, payroll employment saw an increase of 228,000 jobs in March, indicating continued, albeit moderate, labor market expansion. Let's look at inflation and consumer prices. The Consumer Price Index in March, the CPI for all urban consumers, fell by 0.1%, seasonally adjusted, but rose 2.4% over the last 12 months. Core Personal Consumption Expenditures, PCI, the core PCE index rose to 3.5%, exceeding forecasts and indicating persistent inflationary pressures. Trade and tariffs. Let's look at the trade deficit. The U.S. trade deficit reached a record high in March 2025, driven by a 41.3% surge in imports as companies stockpiled goods ahead of new tariffs. Let's look at the market and consumer sentiment. Consumer confidence has dropped sharply, reflecting growing concerns over inflation and economic uncertainty. I'm starting to see a theme here, folks. As much as I like President Trump, as much as I support President Trump, I'm worried about these economic numbers. Retail sector. Major retailers like Walmart and Target have warned of potential product shortages and price increases due to these new tariffs, which could further impact consumer spending. Alright, that's all I have for you folks. Make sure you stay tuned in to Qualitative Listening. This is big, big stuff.